What now?
We don't need anybody to lead us. Take me out to the take me out to the something unsaid project. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's for the White Sox. It's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the all game.
Buy this.
Yes.
Now it's asked me for the security key again. That's okay. That's okay with me.
I got you. I got the type. Go ahead, just go ahead.
Oh, hi. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad. We are doing episode 2. How am I gonna do this? I feel like I need to text Ozzie and ask him, Ozzie Jr., where you at? And I also need to tell y'all why I chose this topic. And it's very relevant. Very, very relevant. So, just bear with me, because I got a lot of technologies up here. I like technology. It is my thing. I love it. So, so just so you know. But like I said, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is TeMeka Williams, and I am the creator of Love Inspired Teach E. LITE for short, as you can see up there. Love Inspired Teach E. And, the topic today is family matters, living in the shadows of the limelight. So I can say everyone knows what shadows is. I'm not sure if everyone understands the limelight reference. I mean, I'm a Sox kid, and I think, I didn't fully research it, I researched it a little bit, but limelight is in reference to the neon lighting or fluorescent lighting, like that lighting that hits you from that. And my last name is Williams. All about the 05 World Series champions. Crosstown is it this week? I think it might be this week. I'm terrible. Don't ask me. I normally tell people don't ask me, because I wouldn't know. I'm not that person. I got a pass on whether or not I needed to know that. I forgot this was not working. So anyhow, this is that family matters, living in the shadows. Let's see what the text message says. Waiting on the link. Where did you send? Hold on. Hey, Ozzie, I'm about to put you on speaker. No, I'm not. Hold on. I texted it to you.
Texted it to me?
I did. It's like a link tree text. Okay? Okay. No worries. It's all good. I'm talking. You know, I can run my mouth with the best of them. All right. Okay. Bye. All right. How charged is this phone? Not very charged. All right. So we will get back to me talking about what it means to me. Then we'll do the intro. But I guess I should go ahead and introduce myself. Let me introduce myself a little bit. My name, again, TeMeka Williams, but I am a woman. I'm a person. I'm a Duke grad. I'm a mom, business owner extraordinaire. I've worked corporate. I'm a lot of things, but most importantly, I'm just me. And my dad is Kenny Williams Sr. of the White Sox. He's the executive vice president currently. He's not active in my life. My parents got divorced, and a lot of things happened. And I'm not going to go into all that detail, but needless to say, everybody who meets me and finds out who they think I really am, because they don't. T.I. said, when you see me in the streets, you don't know me. But in any case, just so y'all know, I'm not Ticketmaster. I'm not, what did I tell someone else? I'm not your nonprofit hookup every single time. Like, I do have stuff, but it's getting depleted because I haven't talked to my dad about 5-6 years now. And when a divorce happens, the way it impacts the family can be rough, and the relationships are impacted, and my brothers, I don't want to get them in trouble. So, hey Ozzie, I sent you 2 links. He's in. You need to be in the Linktree one. Did he? You have to register for the. Hold on, let me send you it again. I'm gonna send it to your email address. Hold on. They can't. I have you on speaker on my phone, but they're not gonna be able to hear you. I sent that one. If you have another device, you can stay on that one, for us to chat privately. But
Well, let me get off this one then. If you're sending me a new link.
Okay. All right. So, in any case, the last time I saw my dad, we were at an anniversary event for a family friend, and a new friend of mine who I love, who I'm going to shout out right now, Joe Calvanico. He has a nonprofit called No Bats Behind. I'm going to look it up, and I bet you I could get Joe on here to tell you all about his amazing nonprofit work that he does. But I hooked him up with White Sox Charities, so that they could use the stadium, and I'll have to ask him again what date they are going to be there. But they raise money for charities of their choosing. Christine O'Reilly is awesome. She helped me with that. So I do still know people, don't get me wrong, but I pay for my tickets. And you know, I'm looking forward to when Ozzie gets on so he can talk about it, but I pay for my tickets. When my kids went to their first game, I don't want to show my daughters. I'll show my sons. When my kids went to their first game, I bought those tickets. Hey.
Hey, I'm in the Bronzeville link. Where am I supposed to go in?
Choose LITE Firestarters Podcast. Okay. You found it? Got it. Okay. Sweet. He's coming to join us. I'm going to keep rambling. Y'all know I can talk. This is an autograph something. I don't even know who signed this. I'd have to ask somebody to tell me who. This is something else I got. I've lived that life, so just to give you verification. Oh, Ozzie's here. Awesome sauce. All right. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Mr. Ozzie Guillen Jr. I've been rambling on and on about what it's like to be me. I told them I'm just Mika. I'm just a human being. I'm a person, first and foremost. You know, I'm a sister. I'm a mom. I'm a corporate boss. I'm all these things. But at the end of the day, I still put my pants on one leg at a time. So why don't you tell them what you want them to know about you?
How's it going, guys? So no, thank you for having me. Sorry, I was having some issues getting on. That's my fault. What would they like to know about me? I'm a father of two. That's the most important thing in my life. I work in corporate America. I work for a company named Cisco Systems, and that's my day. I'm a customer insights manager, so that's my career in that end. I have multiple projects that I work on, one of them being content media, where we have a YouTube channel called Guillen's Baseball. And there is where Guillen's World lives. And Guillen's World is a show that I have with my father and my brother, Oni. Where we talk baseball. It's a bilingual show, and we've created it. We've been doing it for 2 years. Finally, this year, we're on our own platform, building our YouTube channel. And I actually have a company, believe it or not, post-pandemic. It's called Me QR Code, and it's for QR codes. So we're kind of trying to save some trees in the paperless world of creating QR codes, so you don't have to spend so much money in printing. So I have my hands in a couple different things from project wise, and but that's about it. That's me in a gist.
All right. So you can see we do a lot because we were taught a lot of different things. So the name of this episode is Family Matters, Living in the Shadows of the Limelight. So I don't even know if you realize that was the name of this
No,
podcast.
that's fine. No, that's cool. No, for all by all means, no shyness in talking about giving my opinion.
Yeah, no, I told my neighbor that as I was leaving. I was telling him, I was like, he said, I hope you have fun. I was like, oh, I know I'm going to have fun. We both have some big personalities. It'll be all right, you know?
Indeed.
So my thought was, why don't we tell them about how one are like the thing we celebrate most about growing up, whether it's in sports, growing up White Sox, whatever you want to focus on, and then let them know about the stuff we're not so thrilled about, and then kind of end it on where we're at currently with the whole sports scene and all that, since there's kind of a theme to this of being sports and also I always say like celebrity-ish. Like I don't know. I consider myself regular, but I always thought my dad was regular, but to other people he wasn't. So
Yeah.
that's my thought on what format we should go in. You tell me if you're cool with that or if you want
No,
to do
I'm
something
fine.
different.
I'm fine with that. That's
Okay.
ask away whatever you'd like to know.
All right. So like what do you celebrate most over the years? Like even being able to do that podcast with Oni and your dad, ev- everywhere you're at now, what do you celebrate the most about us being? And I feel like for you, you weren't just in the shadows because you did a lot even while they were in the series and everything. Like you were on radio and all that, right?
So I worked as a team translator in 2005.
Okay.
Kind of just fell into that. The need was needed, and I
Mm-hmm.
was close to a couple of the guys that needed that at the time. And then from there, I started broadcasting. I think that when you're growing up, you're always going to be a junior, regardless of what you get yourself into.
Mm-hmm.
Early on in your career, especially, if you get in and you got in, it's because you got in because so and so. If you go in somewhere and you fail, people usually find out a lot quicker about it. Um, I kind of was. For me. It wasn't this thing that I kind of knew what it was because Ozzy had played for so long. But then
Mm-hmm.
obviously now we were dealing with it more as adults. I think I just have the good times. I think that being around every day, I think I probably learned as much as I did in college in my undergrad as I did from being around those individuals that were basically running a billion-dollar industry. Dealing with the media, dealing with the company, dealing with employees. I think that I didn't know. I know this now, but at the time I didn't. I was learning. I was getting schooled. Um, that's why I think I'm so opinionated now about baseball, because I've been in those rooms. I've heard uh, people talk. I have respect for certain people when it comes to the way they think about the game, and others I judge a little bit different. But I think that it was a really cool experience. It was a very unique experience from where it was at, and I think that if you're going to talk about those two individuals, I've always said this. I think that it was the right chemistry at the time
Mm-hmm.
in order to make something magnificent. I think that two mad geniuses in a field. Again, I'm not going to compare him to Steve Jobs and Wozniak at Apple, but pretty much that much of working together and pushing each other at a level of success. And that to me was I'll never live that. I don't think ever again being that close. And it was great. It was great for my career, meaning from what I've learned and what I've been able to how to be able to apply that later. So that was a fun part of it. That was a part that was a perfect time of my age that I was able to be around. And it was a lot of fun being around the team in itself and the way that it was constructed.
Yeah. For me, I can say that I I have 4 brothers, right? So can I show y'all my brothers? I'm sure I can. I brought a whole book for everybody, a whole album. But this isn't my brothers. This is. Do you remember this?
I'm trying to. Yeah. Wow, it's a long time ago.
It is, right? We're old. We're so old. I'm trying to find my brothers. Oh, I know where I have my brothers. I think they should be right over here. But there's some fun pics. Mr. Reinsdorf. I, funnily enough, was working. I was a pill pusher for the last win. And they're like, TeMeka, why didn't you go? I was like, because I thought I didn't want to take all my vacation days. They were like,
well, people forget you got to work,
Yeah.
And again, that's why I said it was a perfect time, at least for me in my career. If Ozzie ever again manages or whatnot, and he's in a series, right, it won't be the same. I won't be there. Probably I'll probably have to travel with my kids. It's just, for me, it was just the bright timing, I think, in that realm of like what I wanted to do that moment in time. Like right now, I'd probably think of like what client would I take to the series, or my what content would I be filming in the series. That's how I think I would shape it now. Back then, to me, it was just it was like what we did. At the time, I wanted to. I was an aspiring. My dream job has always been the job that your father had. I always wanted to be a general manager, and I think that's
I
the
didn't know
one thing that I've
that.
never been able to. I think that's the one thing that I think as a kid I always wanted to be. So back, so in that moment, I thought, it's very reachable for that goal. So I think it was just a fun time, to be honest. I think that it was. I don't, looking back, I don't really think that I knew, how fast I was going to go by, and how you be talking about it 15 years later. People don't realize this, so it's really funny. I'm not a White Sox fan now.
You're not?
I'm not. I'm a baseball fan, and
Which
it's not.
which team do
And
you
it's.
like now?
I like players. I don't like teams. I root
Thank
for teams.
you. Thank
I,
you. I feel the same way.
I root for teams. I'll root for teams if I bet them, number one. But I'll root for teams if there's someone in the team that I know. Like I rooted a lot for Dusty. I want him to really get a ring. It depends, but like I root now more for players, and it's not. People think that it's because of Ozzie's last exit and that. And it's not. It goes back to 1997. I was not a White Sox fan since 1998. Then I became a Braves fan because my father played there. But I think when you get into the business, you kind of go there. And of course, I was a huge fan from '04 to 11 when he was there. But like even now, people are like, oh, do you, like, do I go to a million White Sox games? Do I rock White Sox gear 24/7? No, people get mad. Like people see me wear a Braves hat. My cousin played on the Braves last year. That's where I got the hat from. We were at the World Series with him. But it's a business, and again, you want to you want people to see do well. But like I always say this, I don't have a horse in the race. And with the show, it's very ironic because we look at it from a different perspective. We're giving our opinions as just baseball educated fans, you could call us. We're looking at moves and we kind of, try to dictate and kind of predict what they might be doing, but it's not, we're not, our show's just not about the White Sox, it's about baseball. And people sometimes have a really hard time, especially, this today, the Crosstown Classic, people think that I'm going to be hating on the Cubs. And to me, I don't have, 15 years ago, I probably was rooting at that a lot
It
of.
is today, right? The
It
Crosstown
is.
Classic.
It is. Today's the game one.
Okay.
But again, so for me, it's just I want to
Do
enjoy
you see how
this.
terrible I am as he's talking about how he is? I'm the exact same way. So everything I'm hearing him say, I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Say it from the male perspective because people look at me like, you're a girl, you're this, you're that. I'm sorry. I'm over here messing around with broadcast stuff because I'm learning over here. But I have, to take it back to where I was at before Ozzie jumped in, I have 4 brothers. This picture's upside down. Where's the camera, Brian?
It's right there, but your thing is open. So
No, I can do that. That? All right. That's one picture. Me, my brothers, and my grandfather, who's like way too shiny. You can't even see him. He passed already, but you can't see him. Let's see. This is Dusty, but this is my brothers, right? That's us in the suite. And I would tell people all the time, when I go to the games, I don't like being up in the suite after a while. It gets tense there. They got all these games they're watching. So when Ozzie talks about we're watching the players. That's what our parents did. His dad's on the field watching the players. My dad's watching all the players in the league. He's assessing all these different things. And I just want to have fun. And I'm waiting on the dessert cart. I'm going to be over somewhere fun. I'm going to be over in the kids zone with my kids. That's what I take them to go see. I'm going to be over. My friends are out in the stands. We got them tickets in the stands. And my friends were always afraid to ask me for tickets. I'm sorry. I'm not Ticketmaster. That's something I said early on. I don't think you were there. But it happened to me today. I'm helping my daughter's school. And I help my son's school. They're at 2 different schools in Chicago. Shout out to Walt Disney Magnet School. Shout out to Newberry Academy. I'm on Friends of Newberry. We're doing some fundraising events. We're going to have a silent auction. And of course, once I had to tell them, this is the not so fun aspect I'm going to get to, but I had to tell them I had to visit CPD because someone attacked me and I didn't understand why. And there's a report and it's a hot mess. But my concern was that somehow they knew me in some way, shape, or form. And like I've had these experiences where I've been at O'Hare and people have been like, there goes TeMeka Williams. And I'll be like, heck, this one, right? And so I told them what happened and I told them why I was concerned, and they didn't know. Like, I drop hints all the time. They didn't know who I was in that regards. And they were like, so, can you? And I was like, first of all, I haven't talked to my dad in about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. Second of all, he's on his 3rd family. I don't know what I have. So, all that to say, like, I relate so much to everything that you're saying about how we view baseball, how we view sports. It's not about, we want everyone to win. Like you said, we wanted Dusty to win. We pick our favorites, right?
So was that your grandfather on mom's side or dad's side in the picture?
My grandfather on my mom's side has passed, but my grandfather on my dad's side passed as well.
Got it. I was no, so talking about especially when people on the show say, well, where did you get that thought, or where have you heard that or seen that or been? I think that I'm in a very small group of people that have gone to watch a game, with a general manager, just because that's where I would sit in that series. And I think that at the time, I never really, the relationship, I don't think that it was more of like, your dad was the boss of my dad. It was just like, he was just there. So I know the intensity. I know that. And the reason I asked about your grandfather is like, I think that the pressure, obviously, that your brothers probably faced, I think one of the unique things that no one brings up a lot, and I think that, again, the mindset, how that was done is like they're breaking a lot of barriers. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think now it's a cool thing. Minorities are cool and everyone's like on board on that. But like back then, there was not a black general manager winning a World Series. There was not a Latino.
There's only one black general manager right now in the whole league, right?
Yes, I believe so. I believe. Well, yes, I think so. Yes, I think there's one. But again, there weren't winning. There weren't many, and they weren't being successful. So I think that in that aspect, I think looking back at it now, they were breaking barriers. They were breaking even the way that they are. So there's something very unique about both individuals, and I can do a documentary on both individuals. Both very smart, both extremely stubborn, both extremely opinionated. And I think that having a chip on their shoulders, it was kind of it was a big kind of shaking of the way the industry was and the way that people did things. And I know that from a family standpoint, I know that the kids, because again, just because you're related to them, you're not like that. Doesn't mean that you feel that you might have that chip on your shoulders, because
or you might be similar but not the same, right? Correct, but not the same. Like, I play games, but I don't play baseball. I played flag football. You know what I mean? Like, we're similar, but we're not the same. We're gonna do a brief commercial break because I like that you shared everything that you do. I'm not always as good at that. So what we were trying to put up earlier was Royal TKO Media, and that was a speakers management bureau that I wanted to start with my. What happened? Okay, that I started with my dad. I wanted to start with my dad because he asked me to come up with a family business for retirement, and he wasn't on board. And I was like, I'm gonna do it anyway. It struggled as an entrepreneur who's funding yourself, self-funded. It was a struggle. And then, honestly, I got hit with some family court stuff, and that just blew everything out the water. Because I do have 2 kids. Shout out to Michaela and Jules. But just wanting to get that Royal TKO Media going, I want y'all to know the reason why I have all this crap over here. I'm sorry, I shouldn't call it crap. Father's Day is coming up. This is a cigar case. All my favorite things. I didn't say I smoke cigars, but I know people who do. I like this thing. Oh, I'm not supposed to show that, but I did get it from work. But I like this thing, and it has Sprite in it. So y'all don't be saying I was doing stuff on the podcast. I'm not supposed to, but just because I like Sprite. And then this other really cool thing. But the other company I do is the wellness company. So all this makeup you'll see me wearing is for the wellness company, and I'm wearing Sabella. But this little brewmate thing, I like it. It keeps my stuff cold. So I like to share my favorite things with y'all. And this was what I wanted to plan, but Brian's our engineer right now, our podcast engineer. I was telling him, I don't really want to put on a face today. He was like, do you have to? I was like, you really should. As a woman, you're supposed to. I'll be like, I'm not in the mood. Because I think I should. And Ozzie and I had this conversation the other day. I told him, I was like, I'm putting on a face. He's like, you look fine either way. I was like, you know how people are. Yeah, they criticize. They think they know everything, or they got an opinion they must share. And I'm opinionated too, but I feel like we have a little more sense, especially at this age, to know what we can and cannot share. So this actually says Let Your Light Shine by Carol Davis. I'll now have to look up who Carol Davis is. But now I'm going to play in makeup to make myself feel better about having to go talk to CPD today. So anyway, I just want to do that little commercial break because I'm not as good. I love to promote other people's stuff. Like, where I used to work, I was good at that job. Actually, that's when you see some of this stuff, I got it from my old job. And actually, technically, me and my dad's new wife work for the same company. So you do that math, okay? But anyway, the corporate life, I don't mind it. I can do it. But we kind of touched on it already, Ozzie, but what would you say are the other challenges that people may not recognize or realize we face?
Well, I think that number one, people don't think that you have problems. I think that people don't realize that people are human beings, that people are going through stuff, them personally, and you're just adding, the pressure of the game on top of that, that people do go get jobs, or people, that you were during the World Series with at work, and, that you do have a life and you do have responsibilities. That you do have bills, and you do have, you want to be an entrepreneur. You don't sit because of the, who your father is. You don't sit in an Eiffel Tower. You're not 9. People got to work. People got to do things. People got to, build their own things. So I think that's I get all the time, like where I'm at work, and people be like, "Why are you here? Like, why do you work? Isn't your dad like so and so?" And I'm like, "Why would I not be here? Like."
Right.
Where would you think I'd be? And again,
sitting at home twiddling your thumbs, bored as hell.
I just think that regardless of what you end up doing, I think that you have to have a passion and a drive. And I think, I think that because that you're in the game of baseball does not mean that you're not proud of someone because you're not in the game. I think that you're proud of your kids. Regardless of where they're at. But in my family was, baseball is the way you want to go. It's the way you want to go. If you don't, you can literally pursue your career in anything that you want to do it in. But I think that that's the biggest gist of people kind of assuming that, that you're going to be a certain way, or you're going to be a certain type of business, or not be doing a certain thing. It's like, people are adults. Like you said, everyone's a human. Again, you kind of use your name and likeness to try to bring good or something positive out of it. But at the end of the day, you're just a human. Like you still, famous people and people that are powerful divorce, and there's family issues, and, there's lawsuits and there's
Oh,
drama.
we don't even want to talk
But I'm
about
just
some
saying
of
that,
that.
and I think that people think that, that you're kind of insulated from all that. And at the end of the day, it's like you're dealing with everything normal people deal with, just the in front of everyone to know, like in a very public way.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sense of when you deal with that. I think that's the type of deals that when you come from someone that's a public figure, that you have
But
to
I
kind of
call
deal with
it,
things in front.
can I just interject here and just say, I call it living in a fishbowl, right? I feel like I have to be on my P's and Q's at all times. I feel like eyes are on me whether I like it or not. And I feel like people can relate to this now because of social media, because cameras are everywhere, because people are holding up their phones. And for us, it's like this added layer of, okay, everyone's doing it. However, let them find out who I am or who I'm affiliated with and assume that I still talk to my dad, or assume that my brother and I are just alike, or assume that because I went to Duke, I know everything. I don't know everything. I know some things, and I'll ask somebody if I need help, but I'm not that person. Or some people assume she's got a silver spoon in her mouth. I'm like, where is it? Because I need that. Let me melt it down and make me a ring. Like, I totally agree with you. Like, it's hard to face these assumptions that people make, because I'm one of the people who doesn't like to disappoint others. I'm kind of the peacekeeper of the family in a lot of ways. Like, I try to bring people together, and my dad used to say this. He's like, I know how you are. I know what you're going to do. And I'd just be like, why can't we all, was it Martin Lawrence? Why can't we all just get along? Like, why can't we just all kumbaya, woosah, be happy, bad boys, whatever it takes, so we can be together and forget all that other stressful stuff and all that animosity that gets thrown towards us. Like, especially going to Duke. We used to be like, oh, we got our haters. Brush the dirt, Jay-Z, brush the dirt off your shoulders, like, we constantly have to bob and weave. And people will be like, TeMeka, why are you this way? When I'm like, you're aggravating me and I've been through too much. I don't have the same patience I used to have. So I'll admit to that.
Yeah, it comes with age, I guess. I guess it comes with age.
I think it does.
People still
Wait,
talk
how
to
much
me
younger
like
are you than me, though? Because we had this
I'm
conversation.
37. I'm gonna be 38
Okay.
in June.
Oh, we have a birthday coming up! Yay! I love
because
birthdays.
it's really ironic. People come up to me and they're like to me, 2005 in the World Series, it's so long ago. Like, meaning in my I get lifestyle, just everything in like the way that I see it. Like, it's so close, yet it's so far away when it comes to that. And people, I think it's really funny because I'm like, when I'm talking, I'm like, I'm older than I'm older than 45% of the roster that's on there. Like,
Yeah. I never done those stats. Okay.
Correct. I'm an adult, and so it's really funny because people come in and.
But technically, aren't they adults too? Come on, let's give them a little credit.
Saying, like, you're not a 23-year-old. Like, I look at it now from a different perspective. Like, it wouldn't be the things that I was doing when I was 21, 22. It's just one of those things that at 37, I probably wouldn't be doing as much. But so people get really shocked about that. It's really ironic.
I agree. I completely agree. And I think also our persuasions, our cultural backgrounds, we don't age the same way as others. I also feel like people assume I'm younger than I really am. I'll be like, give me every one of my 41 years, I'm sorry, what did you say?
Younger than I do. No, I would have never, if I didn't know you, I wouldn't guess, that age.
Yeah, I have to tell people, I'm like, no, I'm not one of those. You can't call me 21 plus 20. I'll take every one of those 41. 4-1. Give me my credit, give me my due, give me my respect, because like you said, that was a long time ago, but we're in the city of Chicago, we're in the city of champions. Come on, the 85 Bears still get lots of love.
Well, that's because they haven't won one again, and I don't think they're going to win one anytime soon. So
they're moving too. Where they going?
Allegedly, they're going to the suburbs.
Yeah, the burbs. If you're not from Chicago, you can count the burbs as Chicago. But if you're from Chicago, we're like, That's
Yeah,
not quite the same.
it's they want to take it to where the racetrack was at, allegedly. But
Arlington
I'm saying even
Heights?
the White Sox haven't won. So, even the White Sox haven't won for a long time. So maybe that's why it's still super relevant. And I don't think they're winning anytime soon. So
I don't know. I'll just be like, let me show them my new cooks. Look what I got. I want to show you. I got these for
that's
myself for my birthday. These BMW
pretty cool shoes.
Motorsport.
Pretty cool shoes for a 41-year-old to be wearing.
You think so? I thought I was being cool. My kids said, "Mommy, you never buy anything for yourself," because I was buying them shoes in Myrtle, and they're like, "What brand do you like?" Because they were getting, I think Nike, but I was like, "Mommy actually like Puma. I don't know about y'all." So, um, let's go back to, like, we talked about a lot, but I don't know. Just give me your closing thoughts on, like I said, family matters, living in the shadows. Are we really in the shadows? I don't think we're really in the shadows.
I don't think I'm in the shadows. Again, I think that when people come in, I think people are just like get kind of weirded out that I'm so okay with it. Like my dad's who he is, and we're super close. Having him on the show, we rep his career.
Can we talk about your mommy too, though? Evis is awesome. So I'm sorry, he's representing the men. I know his mommy. Awesome. My mom and his mom go to dinner, and Ozzie be there too. But we talking about. I got to interject a little bit because you talking about your dad. I was like, let's talk about mommies.
No. My mom is the backbone of our family. Is the matriarch of our family.
Mother's Day's on Sunday, y'all. Just a little reminder. It's on Sunday.
Yeah, it's on Sunday. If you don't have the money, at least get her a card. It's the thought that counts. But again, though, like I'm super close. I'm a big mama's boy, but I think my mother is the big foundation of a lot of the success that Ozzie has been able to accomplish. Is obviously due because of Evie's, my mom. The success that I've had, I know that has to do a lot with my mom.
Mm-hmm. My mommy too.
Yeah,
y'all can see my mommy's right there.
Indeed. Yeah. So I think that I think that from our end, for us, it's that like I don't think that I see myself like in the shadows. And if to be okay, I'll say this. I've said this before. It's a very good shadow to be in, because again, I think that if you're able to accomplish, I've already gotten to accomplish a lot more than many have in their lifetime, and I hopefully keep breaking barriers and doing new things and kind of just being innovative as always. But I think that I wouldn't change the relationship that I have with my family and my father. So if people think that that's in the shadows, that is. I always think it's funny. Like you're riding your dad's coattails. You're doing this like great.
I hate when people say that.
You know what? I'm like, good job. Like it's. I just laugh. I'm like, cool. That's. More props to you. Like, okay, great. Like you wouldn't be doing this. Like you're doing nothing now with your life, but you're telling me like you wouldn't be doing, you'd probably be writing it even harder. And again, there's things that just come with, there's things that come, your day-to-day does not change because you have to be an adult and like I said, responsible. But then there's things that don't change because of who you have access to and kind of like what your last name is. And you're going to be, if you're a White Sox fan, yes, I will probably be there in the next 2005 reunion just because I happen to be Ozzie's son. That sort of thing's not going to change. I have friends that play in the game, that are in the game because I've met through because of who my father is. That, that's not. I don't know. I have 3 uncles that married my mom's sister that played Major League Baseball. That because of my dad. I don't know. So again, we're a family that has a lot of baseball involved, and that's the way that we're with it, and some people are okay with it. And I think at my age, I think I'm better with it every single day.
That's awesome. And I'll say, so my perspective is different because, like, what I love about your family unit is that you guys understand family dynamics can change and there can be a lot of them, and your parents are still together. Like, that's phenomenal. Like, I really wish that for whenever I do get married again. Yes, I'm divorced. We don't have to talk about that. But I really wish that my dad has success in his 3rd marriage. Contrary to popular belief, I really do. I've said to people, I was like, what people don't get is when my parents were going through it and that behind the scenes we were talking about, I really just wanted them to be happy for me and anything I had to say at the end of the day, I just wanted them to be happy. I wanted to be able to come home and know that my dad wasn't going to be stressed out and bringing his work home. And I didn't want my mom to be upset because she didn't get to do X, Y, and Z. I didn't want my brothers to feel pressured. I wanted everybody to be happy. And to this day, even though we're fractured, so bear with me, y'all, I just want everyone to find their peace, find the thing that they love the most. And whether we're near or far, it's okay, because at the end of the day, I'm confident in myself. And to speak to what Ozzie was talking about, like, I learned so much. Like, I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't give it away. It is what it is. I learned a lot from my parents. I learned a lot from the people they introduced me to. I was telling Brian that I'm applying to be a Chicago Urban League fellow. So shout out to the Chicago Urban League. Please pick me. Please pick me. I want to be an impact fellow. I don't want to pay University of Chicago Booth School all that money. The way they like pick me. I don't have an MBA. I want the cheaper, the less expensive, more economical version. So I applied. The deadline was April 30th. So if y'all missed it, you missed it. But check it out next year. But I got to raise $8,000 because I'm doing it as an LLC, right? I'm doing it as on my own. And I don't want to ask my mom's money. That's her money to play with. She was married for a long time and went through a lot. I don't ask my dad his money. I don't want to be on his payroll. I don't want to take my grandma's money because she'll give me anything. I used to live with her for a little bit. But what if something happens to her? So I'm out here hustling. Like, y'all see me talking about all my favorite things. But at the end of the day, you know, I want everyone to be happy. And when I started this company, Love, Inspire, Teach, E, it was about, I think, the world and a lot of the craziness, especially given the pandemic. Like, let's touch on the pandemic a little bit. Needs more love. Like, we're all stressed and frustrated. And I just was like, I want to love people. I think inspiration is what everyone needs. And we can all teach one another. And I'm an Earth Day baby. So I was like, let's evolve together. Love, Inspire, Teach, E. And originally the thought was, I'm a decent writer, so I've been told I'm a really good writer. But I started off blogging, then the pandemic hit, and all these awesome, amazing, phenomenal, motivational people. Like, I'm sure your dad gives phenomenal speeches. I'm sure you give phenomenal speeches. I'm sure anyone in your family probably can say so much quality information, right? But I just felt like, how can I give back? And they were like, TeMeka, you like to talk. You're good at talking. Why don't you podcast? I'm like, how much work is that? I got kids. So I called Ozzie up and I was like, Dedrick says, that's one of my brothers. I was like, he says you're still podcasting. I was like, is that what you do? He's like, what are we talking about? Who is this? So, that's where this evolved from. So I actually look up to you and all that you're doing and all the success you've had. What advice do you have for me?
I've always said this. I've always said, do not be scared to try new things. Okay. I think that's something that we have fear in. What are we going to, are we going to fail? What does success look like? I think when you make content, you're doing it because you want to inspire someone or you want to get to someone. So I always say this, you're always going to have 50% of the people are going to be your haters. And then 50% of the people are going to, they're gonna like you. And out of that 50, there's probably gonna be 10% that you can talk about anything, any nonsense, and they're gonna love you regardless. And there's gonna be about 30% that are gonna hate you, even if you're the greatest podcaster in the world. Like, there's people out there hating on Joe Rogan. The guy gets paid, $50 million to talk, on an hour-long format. So you're gonna get that. So I think that if you're doing it, and you're about it and you're about the content, I think eventually it monetizes itself. But for me, it's like, it was a way for me to express an opinion, to educate. And for me, every time I do something, I always believe that if you do something because you enjoy it, eventually that will come back, threefold. And that's something that I've always implemented in my career. and I've been able to have success with it. And I never said no to anyone in the sense, any opportunity. That's how I got into podcasting, because I would talk baseball and people would say you're great at this, and it kind of just evolved into this thing now. But again, I think that when the more the people know you, the more that they can relate to you, and know what's going on and what's been happening from your end, the more they get,
Yay.
because people are going to buy, products are there. People are going to buy you. Like, they want to know, like, what the person's into, like, what they're doing. And I think that's just a better way to communicate. And if you have, a following, is only a following, and depending on how they're following. So for you to be able to, have that method, and if you think you can inspire, that's going to be something that, if you can change one life, that's more impactful than many people have done before. So, and again, I think you're in a very unique place, of you can, obviously document your journey, which is something a lot of people didn't have before. Now you can do it with video, and you can do it with podcasting, and it's really cool. It's a great way to stay connected with individuals, and
I feel like I have to put the lighters. Brian's not gonna like this, but lighters in the air. Like, honestly, sparklers, shine, whatever.
Yeah, I admire you. You're a mom. I only have to do half the job. I'm not a mom. But again, I think that from a career standpoint, a lot of people are always going to put you in a box. Some people say, "Oh, Ozzie's podcasting. Ozzie's doing this. Ozzie's doing that." And at the end of the day, you're the only person that knows, what you're doing. At the end of the day, you're the only person that, when you look in the mirror at the end of the day, are you satisfied with what you're doing, how you're spending your time, and what you're growing and building. That's what you have. That's who has to be happy, not your spouse, not your husband, not your kids. It's like, if you're taking care of you, everything else comes around. Like, you got to take care of you first. You is the key. People ask me, like, "Oh, what's your most important thing? What's your most important thing in life?" I'm like, me. If I'm not around, nothing else happens. And that's
put yourself first.
I do, always. I put myself first. If I'm not there, I can't. Nothing else happens. So I think that from that end, whatever makes you happy and however you want to build it, then you have to do it.
So what makes me happy, and I really hope you're gonna come.
What makes you happy?
So I said playing games for Mother's Day. I actually didn't plan anything because I'm supposed to be celebrated. I was thinking about doing this pop-up thing with Monique Lane, so feel free to look her up. Feel free. I think she might have closed out her vendors, but she might make an exception. But I'm planning for Father's Day, and I want to play spades so bad. So even though Father's Day's next month and his birthday's next month, so whatever, but I just want to play games. So I'm going to do a game night, and I have 4 locations right now for spades. So so Mama said she's going to do pop-up mahjong, so that's online because you can't be around my grandma and you might have COVID, so we just do that online. But I have 3 awesome sauce locations. One of them is Hip Hop Heritage Museum. Brian, do you want to just pop on and say anything a little bit about it? I know, but I told you I would promote this because who doesn't love hip hop? I'm saying Jay-Z, Biggie, Tupac. I saw this awesome thing on Instagram talking about if your mama's between 35 to 44 and she was raised by Tupac, Biggie, and why is the other one escaping me?
We'll close out the show with it.
But anyhow, y'all already know you don't play with them mamas, right? But you can play cards with me. Look at these cards, y'all. These cards are so cool. They are waterproof. I got these in Myrtle Beach. And I got these I like purple and gold ones. So, Ozzie, even if we just play Go Fish or something, you got to come through. You can bring the kids through. We got a fun little playroom. And I have a duplex down. But you got to come play games with me.
For sure. I haven't played. I wonder if I know how to play spades.
Gin, rummy, spades, hearts, bid, whiz. I don't know how to play so much. I've tried it one
Hold but I don't. I
poker.
Learn spades. I'm
poker.
Sure.
We can do poker. We can play Uno. Shoot, we can play. I got all the games. I got Uno. I got Jenga. I got Monopoly. But that takes too long. I don't like Monopoly.
I'm a big Monopoly fan, actually.
Are you? Okay. Yeah. I got the kid version and the adult version. I got one that's themed. But all right, Brian, you ready? You were going to show them the website, or what were you going to show them?
Well, I was just going to end the show with it.
Oh, he's going to end the show with the Chicago Hip Hop Heritage Museum.
That
honestly,
sounds cool. What's
the museum
about?
It's all Chicago hip hop. Everything that's related to Chicago hip hop.
That's really cool. Who's the greatest hip hop musician to come out of Chicago? Kanye?
That's a relative question.
I was gonna say, depends on who you talk to. You might have pissed some people off.
What's his face? No, the second one would be
Common, Rhymefest, yeah, Twista.
It's so many names.
Oh God, yes. Like people don't realize Chicago has like a strong hip hop underground culture. And you should see my post that I tagged Brian in it. I was like, why Negroes make it so complicated? If it's a private clubhouse, you should just tell us that. But how come I didn't know about this till now? And my event this past Sunday at Bronzeville Boutique that I told you about, the owner was pissy because he's like, I'm Chicago hip hop. How come I'm not up in that museum? TeMeka, I'm like, you can go talk to Brian. You can go give him whatever you feel he might be missing. Y'all can figure that out. I don't know nothing about what you trying to. He was like hot. And I was just like, I'll tell you where it's at. You go talk to Brian and y'all figure it out. Like, but they want donations. And I was like, what we donating? I got lots of stuff. But honestly, check out their site, chhhm.com. Donate. Check it out. I actually talked to my son's social worker at his school, one of the social workers. I was like, can y'all do a field trip over here? It'd be really cool. The kids would like it. So what were we closing out with? A song? We got 9 minutes, so
I can close it out. It's about 8 minutes.
I mean, we could go a little long. You see how me and Ozzie are. We be talking. Look at his face. He's like, uh-huh. He'll probably be like, TeMeka, show that tattoo again. Sorry, just kidding. I'd be inappropriate. I'm half Filipino. I should have brought the Pinoy humor book. We be slightly inappropriate at times, and I have 4 brothers, so I know how to pop somebody right upside the head. You heard that? That was like a smack home run. What did he used to say? Oh, shit. Hawk. What would Hawk say?
He gone?
On the board?
Hey, Adela. My daughter's looking.
She knows what he would say? Oh, God. Put it on the board! Yes! That's what it was. Put it on the board! Yes! Home run, baby. Hi. You're such a sweetheart. Hi, gorgeous. It's so nice to meet you. Oh, my God. She makes me excited, too.
It's funny. I'll be back out. Give me 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah. We're wrapping up. Okay, she said, Daddy, you done. Let's go ahead and show them. Let's close it out. You like music?
Della loves the camera.
Oh, your YouTube share. Okay, we're going to look at the Chicago Hip Hop Heritage Museum. Too bad, Brian. I didn't even think about the fact that the Sox Crosstown Classic was going on. Jeez.
Della likes the music.
Hey, look at that. That's awesome.
I did not know it existed until this year. I had no idea. It had been around for 18, this is the 18th year. I did not know it was proclamated by the city.
Wow.
I can't say if I've heard anybody else say anything about it because it's not played up like it should be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, realistically, what you should have here in this front room should be Common, should be Twista, should be every rapper that came from Chicago should be here.
It's DJ Chili Q of WHPK, the Golden Era. And I'm here at the Chicago Hip Hop Exhibit.
Honestly, we have about that much time. We can stop it. You can
We're here
pick
at
a
the
stopping
Chicago
point.
Hip Hop Exhibit.
3 minutes
You
to
guys
wrap
should
up.
really get out and check it out. It's taking me back from the very beginning all the way up to today. And every wall is covered with something representing hip hop. And a lot of it, most of it is Chicago hip hop. And it's very impressive.
In the year 2003, a delegation of Chicago hip hop artists, including Amina, Chris Coolout, what's his name, TJ Crawford, Mark Armstrong, and and a few others that I might not be having their names right off the back, went down to City Hall with Walter Burnett, the alderman, and discussed getting a resolution for Chicago hip-hop. And Mayor Daley officially signed it into proclamation on June the 9th of 2003 that Chicago's Hip Hop Heritage Month would be observed in the month of July. So from July 1st through July 31st, we're celebrating the essence of Chicago hip hop and all of its elements.
My name is Artistic, and I'm a graffiti writer, b-boy, former DJ, and former MC. Born and raised here in Chicago on the south side, southeast side, or come up off on 101st. And been representing hip hop here in Chicago since '82. So I've always wanted to be a part of a movement. Before I got into hip hop, it was bikes and video games. But in '82, I made that transition from bikes and video games into hip hop, and it's been down here ever since, you know.
And I can tell you, just from me, how humbling it is. But I best believe that if any of these people that are on this wall came to this monument, I call it a monument, the history behind it, to see themselves on a wall in what is practically a museum.
It is a museum. You can stop it there. This is awesome. I'm gonna be like, oh, shame on me. I should have watch this. Just been really heavy with a lot of stuff. So huge thank you, Brian, and the other awesome Brian who introduced me to this, because I was on a podcast here, In the Zone podcast on Wednesdays. They'll be on tomorrow. Him and Chantel do an awesome job. I did it wasn't about divorce. Maybe it was about divorce, was my first one. And then that Jada and Will slap. Ooh, that one touched me. I was on that one. It touched me. I was triggered a little bit by that. I was like, oh my God, they must be having some real issues behind the scenes to what we were talking about, you know? But I have to thank you so much for coming on. Brian was being real humble. I had actually asked him, I put his sticker up on one of the website things, on my website. So I love to share. I love to inspire others. I'm so happy and proud to have Ozzie Guillen Jr., my friend Ozzie, on the podcast. We'll have to do more fun stuff together. Girls just want to have fun, Cyndi Lauper.
Let me know. It was an honor being on, and it was a great time. And obviously, I just had a really good time.
I did too. All right, we'll definitely catch up. Thanks again, and tell your daughter thank you for sharing her daddy.
I will. Okay. I will. We'll talk soon.
All right, love you. Mwah.
Big hugs. Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. So we're wrapping up. I can't think of what else I'm supposed to tell you about other than Spade's pop-up. Check out the website. Check out the blog. There is a new article up. I know what I keep forgetting. My kids would be, Mommy, like, subscribe, hit the subscribe button, like, and comment. And there might be something else, but I still have to put all the bubbles up and inundate y'all with likes, follows, subscribe, merch. That's the other thing. Merch is coming. So, with 2 minutes to spare, just want to say thank you for sharing your love with me. I send love out to you. I hope I inspired you. I hope you learned something, and let's all evolve together. Thank y'all. Good night.